Hello, welcome again to Q&A Wednesdays with Kent. Again, this is Apple Pie English School, part of our Slice of Pie page, which is here. So your daily dose of English study, of course. And so today, Q&A Wednesdays, I'll answer a question that usually I get from the students. I have over 20 years of experience. So today's question will be about what do you recommend, for example, books or things like that. So for example, books, this is Dale Carnegie's book I'll recommend today, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So some students ask me about books or music or things like that. So I thought I would put them into a format, which is PEGOT. So PEGOT is, I'll explain now what PEGOT is. So by the way, before I explain, please give me a like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos so that I can continue making them every day. So PEGOT, as you can see here at the top, PEGOT is an example. It doesn't actually say here, but a P stands for Pulitzer. So it stands for book. It's a book award. So I'm looking here. Only Richard, Rogers, and Marvin have won all 5. But if you add the P in front of this PEGOT, Pulitzer means book award. Emmy is TV award. Grammy is a music award. Oscar is, of course, movie award. And the Tony last is the award for Broadway plays, some kind of play. So hopefully I'll have, in each category, I'll have something to recommend every week. Let's see. So for the P part, the Pulitzer, so the book. And this is the book I showed you earlier. I have it in my office. It's a great book. It's over 100 years old, but it's very useful even now. I have it highlighted and underlined many places. It's an easy read. It's not a big book. It's how many pages? 250 pages. But if you read this in English or in Japanese, it's a great book to read. If you read it in Japanese first, it'll be easier in English. But it teaches, as it says here, Mr. Dale Carnegie used to go around in the 1920s, I think, and he used to go around giving speeches to people how to do different stuff. And this is one of his famous speeches, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's an easy read because it wasn't written as a book. There was a publisher in the audience one time learning from him, and he thought, wow, this is interesting. Hey, you should write a book. And Dale Carnegie's like, no, I'm busy with these presentations. I'm going all over America. So he said, okay, well, next week I'll send my secretary to your event, and she'll take notes of whatever you're talking about, and then she'll put it into a book form. Is that okay with you? Then we'll sell the book. And it later became, I think, for English books, probably in the top 10, I think number 5 best-selling book ever, especially self-help books. So it's a great book and a great read. You can learn how to communicate. I'm picking books or movies. I'm picking things to help you communicate in English better. This one helps you communicate. Salesmen in America have to read this book, but it helps everybody communicate better. So it's useful to read. Then let's see, that's the P. So E, Emmy, so TV show. Friends. All of my students know I love Friends. I watched Friends religiously, which means I watched it every time. I would make sure to finish work on time to get home to watch it. So, of course, this is a stylized what Friends looks like. This is the Friends characters. So, of course, it's about 6 people in New York City, 3 boys, 3 men, and 3 women, and they date each other, or sometimes they don't date, and they have life, and they go to work, and they talk. And I like this to recommend to my English students because it's a lot of talking. There are some jokes which are difficult to understand maybe in a foreign language. Some sarcasm, for example, Chandler's character is very maybe difficult to understand, but it's a lot of different jobs, a lot of different work, a lot of different situations. So I think it's useful to practice your English. Plus it has 10 seasons, almost 240 shows. So, and it's great. It's 20s and 30s people. Of course, as you see here, the series finale was watched by 53 million Americans. It's the 5th most watched series finale in television history in America. And while it was on TV, it was the #1 sitcom almost for the 10 years. It was in the top 3 shows, but I think ER and Seinfeld, when Seinfeld was still on, was ahead of it. But after Seinfeld finished, it was maybe the #1 sitcom for the last 3 to 5 years of the show. So that's the Emmy. Then what is next? G, Grammy. So Grammy is Eminem. I picked Eminem. Later you'll see why I picked the other ones too, but I picked Eminem because even if you don't like rap music, I would say definitely, he has the largest vocabulary of any singer I've ever heard. His songs, the words he rhymes with other words are very unique. So if you know Ed Sheeran now, who's very popular, Ed Sheeran, when he was young, he used to listen all the time to Eminem, even though Ed Sheeran is, of course, in England and Eminem is America. Because if you want to use vocabulary well, he used to have street battles with people on the street where they just make up words. He could rhyme with anything that came. As soon as it came, he could bam. So he could create a song almost immediately, like within seconds. So his word usage and vocabulary is amazing. So please listen to him. I should warn that some of the words are graphic, so it's not for less than 18-year-old people. Maybe you shouldn't listen to it, maybe, but it's very useful. Some of my students at TCUE, Tegasaki City University of Economics, one of my students used to listen to all his songs. That's how he practiced and learned his vocabulary. So he would ask me all the time, what does this mean? Can you hear it? Can you listen? So it's very useful to learn vocabulary. It's amazing, his vocabulary. Let's see, next. So we did PEG. So Oscar. So what movie do I recommend? There's a lot of movies I could. This was a hard choice for me. A lot of movies I could recommend, but I like this one to start with for my recommendations is Catch Me If You Can. It's also based on a book. If you want to read the book, it's a true story. I like true stories to recommend to my students. It's based on a true story that happened in the 1960s in America. Very interesting story. I won't tell you what happened. I'll let you read it or watch it. But I've never read the book, but I've watched the movie. And I think the movie is good enough. It's, again, similar to Friends, the TV show Friends, where you put him in different situations. This character, the main character, is put into a lot different jobs and how he's going to survive. The main point is he's 16 years old, from 16 until he's 21 years old. He's going to do without any education. He's going to become a professor, a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, and many other things. So he'll be in a lot of different situations. And the real person is very interesting too. So he was really a teacher. That's right. He was a high school French teacher too for a little bit in the movie. But anyway, it's a great movie to teach how to fit into those different situations and how to use different languages. He would watch the TV show about doctors and then go and he would become a doctor for a year. So it's kind of interesting. So please watch it. And then last, so PEGOT, Tony's are Broadway plays. So hopefully I'll have one every month to recommend, but this one is an easy one. Similar to Eminem, that Hamilton, the guy who started this, Lin-Manuel Miranda, here is a picture of him. He's the guy who created this. He wrote in 2009, it came out in 2015 or 16, I think, this play, but he wrote it in 2009. He was planning to make a rap album about Hamilton, the Secretary of Treasury, the first Secretary of Treasury, the guy who was on our $10 bill in America. And he wrote some rap songs. He performed in front of the White House. And even Obama's wife said, when she saw his play later, like 5-6 years later, he made this play. She says the best play she'd ever seen. It's very interesting. I like history, so of course I like it. But I recommend to my students because similar to Eminem, his word usage, it's mostly songs, but you can read it. You can find it on the internet. You can read the lyrics of all the songs, and each line or each word has 2 or 3 meanings. It's some of the deepest songs I've ever seen, the deepest play I've ever seen. So it's very popular even to this day. It's sold out all the time in New York, and it's traveled around the world now, Chicago, San Francisco, London. But and you can see this on Disney Plus as well if you want to watch it instead of read it. But when you read it, when you watch it, you can't get all the word great. When you read it, you're like, wow. Like the most famous song in the play, "Take Your Shot." I want to take my shot, I think is the name of it. And there's at least 3 different meanings of shot in that sentence, in that line. So at least there's very deep meaning. So it's difficult for newer people at English. But as you get better at English, you can realize, whoa, Ah, that's what he meant. So it has a lot of deep meanings. You can read it over and over again, or if you have Disney Plus, you can watch it over and over again. Okay, so that was my recommendation today. Again, so this PEGOT, so Pulitzer. So I recommend this book. So How to Win Friends and Influence People. And here we go. This TV show, Friends, of course, great show, and Eminem for music, Emmys, and then of course Oscars, Catch Me If You Can, and Hamilton for the Tonys, so for the T, so the T part of the PEGOT. Okay, so hopefully those will help you study. So pick whatever you like. If you like reading, pick the book, or if you like watching movies, pick the movie, or TV shows. Of course, you don't have to watch all the shows, just watch the ones you like. If you like learning about, for example, if you like learning about Thanksgiving or Christmas, bam, watch Friends Thanksgiving show, Christmas show. You can find it on the net maybe. Okay, thank you very much. So again, this was Teacher Kent from Apple Pie English School's Slice of Pie. So hopefully you learned some places where you can find some new language now. So I'll see you tomorrow in another video. And please give us a like before you leave. And don't forget to subscribe because we have a new video every day. Thank you very much. Have a good day.